welcome. Thanks for attending. I'm glad to have you with me, us. We're going to be going over a lot. Go ahead and ask questions in the chat box, and we'll answer and chat during a few breaks that I have programmed in here. Just remember that we were all new to Nano once, and we're pretty much all new to a virtual Nano. I mean, Nano does have some regions that are virtual only, but we're not usually one of them. So it's kind of new for us. So what is NaNoWriMo? It's short for National Novel Writing Month, often shortened to Nano. It was started by Chris Beatty and a handful of others in San Francisco in 1999. They kind of did it on a lark. It was actually started in July, and then later on they ended up moving it to November. But it originally started in 1999, and it's a nonprofit organization that believes everyone's story matters. So everyone should tell their stories. That's what we want to have happen. Move forward. Thank you. Their mission statement, National Novel Writing Month believes in the transformational power of creativity. We provide the structure, community, and encouragement to help people find their voices, achieve creative goals, and build new worlds on and off the page. And it certainly helps when you have a deadline. That's just saying that.
Yes, it definitely does.
Okay. So what else are we going to cover today? We're going to talk about why rhymos here in this area are called sockmonkeys. We're going to go over some Nano 101 lingo and a few frequently asked questions. We'll take a quick peek at the Nano website and forums. We'll go through a little bit of our Discord and regional spaces. We'll talk a little bit about what a virtual Nano is going to look like for us, and then we'll take as many questions as we can, and we'll go from there. So, why are we called Sockmonkey writers? A couple of you probably already know, but for everyone else who doesn't, our region's mascot was chosen in 2009. He was named Steve at the time and belonged to the then late ML of the region, and a number of other monkeys also. They were present at write-ins until the owner moved away, and then Sockmonkey kind of faded for a while till I came back, till I stepped up. A new Sockmonkey appeared when I began volunteering in the region. We had many who voted on a name, and we ended up, it ended up being a tie twice. And I couldn't make myself just toss a dice and pick. So I found a dog to go with the Sockmonkey so we could have both names. And we have Polyester Socks and her dog Pearson, who was named for Pierce County. And the full story is also on our forums and our regional blog, along with some other pictures and things if anybody is interested in checking that out or hasn't already. So now we're going to talk some Nano lingo, acronyms and phrases you may hear or see around. ML, short for Municipal Liaison, that's me. My name is Linda. On the forums and the Nano site, I'm Kirthana Elvendahl. So when you see that name, that's me. That's who I am. I am kind of the go-between between the region and headquarters. I help plan the events and encourage you all as we try to take this on together. Rimo is you, and also me, but is you. It's short for Writer of the Month, writing. Well, it's short for Writing Month, but Rimo is you. It's the person who is writing for the month of November. And we will cover planner, pantser, plantser in just a second, although most of us kind of already have an idea, but we'll just do a quick little bit on them. Region and homed. Well, if you're here with me, you're part of the Tacoma Pierce County. Well, they added an ampersand this time. So you're part of the Tacoma and Pierce County region of the NaNoWriMo organization. And to be homed, I'll show you a little bit about that when we get to the website. Most of you are, since you're already here, but I'll do a quick overview in case people are new and don't know for sure. But home just lets us know that you're part of our region, and then when they have little stats in the background, they'll tell us, how many people are writing with us this year, how many words they've written, and how many actually crossed the finish line, things like that. It's kind of fun little stats to kind of keep track of in the background. So on the main site, you can buddy other writers. And on the main site, which I will also cover shortly because there are 2 sites. On the main site, you can buddy someone, and then that is the only way you can actually private message somebody, is if you are buddied with them. You also will get regional messages and the messages from Nano headquarters in the messaging on the main site.
Make sure you close the door.
Other thing about buddies, since we're virtual this year, I set up a buddy encouragement sign up, and hopefully we can maybe buddy some more veteran or experienced Nano writers with some of our new folks and give them a one-on-one buddy who they can either chat with via Discord or via email or however you are most comfortable, just to maybe do a quick once-a-week check-in. I have a little form inside the forums where you can sign up, and I will be matching people with their buddies. Hopefully we can get some people matched up with some buddies, and it'll be something kind of fun, kind of give you a little more of the more personal that we won't have because we're going to be having all these virtual things this year. So you have one person who can kind of check in with you more besides my usual little rah-rahs that I'm going to be trying to do for everybody. 1667, that is the average words you should aim for a day if you want to hit the 50,000 words in the 30 days of November. But again, it's suggested, it's not necessary. If you can't fit in those words on one day, you just have to plan to be able to make them up another day. Let's see, rebel. So the old rules stated that for Nano, like strict Nano, it was 50,000 words on a new novel written in the month of November. Anything else you did was considered rebelling. Now it's gotten a little looser, and it doesn't matter whether you're writing on an old novel or a new novel so much. You're more of a rebel if you're writing a different form. So it could be if you're writing 50,000 words of poetry or 50,000 words of blog posts, or there's a whole forum of people that rebel and share the different ways that they do different word counts during the month of November. You write in or come right in. Those are 2 different things, but they're kind of related. We don't get to do the come right ins this year because we can't go to places to write in. But the come right in is a program where places in the community like libraries, bookstores, things like that, if they have a space where writers can come write, they offer it to Nano, and then I, as the liaison, will contact with them and then arrange for us to go write there, which is really fun. Write-in itself basically is a bunch of writers getting together in a library or a coffee shop and sitting down and collectively ignoring each other for a couple of hours while we write on our novels, for the most part. Other than when you have it, but it's also fun because if you need to bounce an idea off somebody or you're kind of stuck, I don't know what to do here, you can throw it out, and then you have a room full of other writers who can toss ideas at you if they have one and kind of get you unstuck. So we're hoping to carry that vibe into the virtual experience. But that's basically it. And then during a write-in, sometimes we have the word sprints or word wars, which I'll get to in a second. Word padding is a time-honored tradition, also started by Chris Beatty, the founder, where you add things to get to the word count. So a couple of examples are not using contractions. So do not, have not, that gives you an extra word every time, and then you can just go back and fix it later. You can, lots of purple prose and flowery words. Also using long names. There was an example that he gives in his book for a fantasy character, it was like Prince somebody of the somebody of the somebody of the somebody. And so then every time they showed up in the novel, there was like 8 more words because they used all 8 words every time they referred to that character. So that's another little kind of a funny hint. You can always take it out later. And the other thing is, if you're down to the wire on November 30th and you really want to hit 50,000 and you're not quite there, his other thing was to just type potato, 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 potato until he hit 50,000 words. So you can just repeat a word over and over when you get to the end, if you're super close, and kind of hit it. It's more for the fact that you want to cross the finish line. Hopefully you get to the end of your story or as close as you can, is kind of the main point. Word sprints, oh man, my voice. Word sprints and word wars, here we kind of use it interchangeably. Both of them are basically timed writing events. With a sprint being you're timed and you try to go as fast as you can. The war is usually if we're together and you're warring against everyone else in the room to see who writes the most words in that amount of time. But generally we kind of keep it, we kind of interchangeably use it as just a timed write to try to write as many words as you can. We have some bots in our Discord channel that can help pre-time those for you. So we'll get to some of that in a minute. The 3 types of rhymos: the pantser, who is the rhino who writes by the seat of their pants. Did I miss something? Oh, somebody had to leave. Okay, sorry. Boop. I'll go back. Sorry. I wasn't sure if somebody was requesting to get in. This means they don't plan their novel. They might have an idea and a few characters, but that's usually it. Planner is the opposite of the pantser. They organize their notes, create character sketches, and outline to varying degrees before November starts, and they tend to like to check off lots of boxes. The plantser is a combination of the pantser and the planner. Might do some research or have a loose outline, but they're not really worried about checking off every single box. They like to plan some, and then they like to seat of the pants discovery write the rest of it. Okay, so now I'm going to do a little bit of the FAQ. The how do I participate? Well, you guys are in, but hopefully. If you've done Nano before, you could help answer some of these if you'd like. But participating is basically you make a profile, you launch your novel, update your word count as you go, you hit the 50K and you win. And there's the global forums and regional organization, the whole Nano is. And you write your novel in your own program, whatever program you choose. You can write it on paper. You can use typewriter. We have a few people who do that. And nobody else will see it unless you decide to share it. So it's yours and only yours. And nobody has to see it unless you want to share. It's never stored by headquarters. I don't know if they're putting it in the site just yet. Prior to when they switched the site, there was a place where you pasted in your words to validate your win. I'm not sure if they're going to do that, but that was another reason why people might have been worried about it, because you're pasting all your words in, but they never saved any of it. It was just so that their counter could verify your word count. Let's see. Nano is for everyone. You don't have to be wanting to get published to write in it. You can just write it because you want to write, or you've always wanted to write a novel, or you've always wanted to try a challenge like this. Let's see. Do I have to write a new novel or the 50,000 or whatever? Oops. Oh. Well, basically, you don't have to. The rules are you need to just write and have fun. Everything else is up to your interpretation. The old school challenge was the 50,000 words of a new novel during the 30 days of November, but now it's pretty open. Actually, let's see. But Nano is free. You never have to pay to participate. although it does cost them money, but they are, because they're a nonprofit. So they run on donations. If you donate, you help bring their writing and creative programs to schools and other writers, and you get a shiny halo on your profile for the year. The nature of some of our regional events may have associated costs, and as well as the goodies given out at events, other than the official Nano sticker, because they provide that for us. So those are costs that can happen, but they are not. You are not required to do anything for those. Said, do I get anything for winning? Well, yes, they have a whole little section when you win. They will cheer you on with a video that you get to watch. You get to print out a certificate for yourself. You will get your own web flare, usually, that you can put that says that you're a winner for the year in the year's theme design. Then you also are allowed to buy a winner shirt if you would like. Things like that. And then there are also discounts and things, which I'll cover briefly when we get there. What if I fall behind? Well, like I said, generally speaking, the goal is the 1667, but there are some people who you might only get in 500 words one day because it's just been a long day and you couldn't get it in any other time. Just try to make sure that you make it up some other time. Or if you know you're going to write less during the week, know that you need to have a few longer writing sessions on the weekend. Having to have the bigger count every day isn't required, but it does help you stay in the creative flow if you try to write most every day so you don't kind of lose where you're at. But again, not required. You can make up for it however you'd like. Now, I had somebody ask on the forums, how much time do you set aside for writing each day? So a little bit of it with people who work. Say you might want to write a little bit before you go to work. You might be able to write some when you're on lunch, if you have a way you can bring that with you, like on your phone or something. And then you might spend some time writing when you get home. And the example I gave was, say you only get in, say, 500 words in an hour. I went for a really low example. Then you might need about a little over 3 hours to actually get the 1667 a day. You get a little past that. But most people are a little faster at typing. And then, of course, you have the ebbs and flows of your ideas, whether sometimes they're flowing and the words are coming out and you go real fast. And other times you slow down and it kind of drags the average back. But basically a few hours a day, depending on typing speed and your ideas. So that I don't, do either of you have I can't think now. My words are not coming out. How much time do you guys set aside for writing each day?
Well, when I do it, it's because I've been working at the job that I work at for so long, I'm able to take some time off. So like this year, I'm taking every Monday off. So that gives me a 3-day weekend, and I'll have like, I even made a schedule that I'm going to try to hit 3,000 words every day on, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And then during the weekdays, I'll get maybe 1,000 words. But if I don't, per day,
Sure.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then if I can't do that, then I'll just make up for it at some point during the weekend. And then you got that 4-day weekend, which is Thanksgiving, and that helps too. So yeah, I try to hoard my vacation time at work and use it for NaNoWriMo.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So that's what I try to do.
Okay.
I love the sound of that schedule. That sounds great.
Hey, man, I worked a lot of years there to get it.
Yeah. I work for myself, so theoretically I have a lot of flexibility, but I still have like regular hours I need to maintain. Thinking back, my pattern has been more along the lines of try and front load on the words at the beginning of the month. So instead of the 1667 number, I'm trying to do like 2,500 or 3,000 several days in a row, so that when I have my slump like on Wednesday when I'm bogged down with work or whatever, if I do like an 800 word day, that's okay. And then I can like make it up on the weekend again. That's like my my pattern. But yeah, usually I need at least like an hour and a half a day to make it all work.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds good. That's you brought up a good point. That is a technique that a lot of times they suggest in general, whether or not your schedule is if you can, to get as ahead of the word count as you can in the beginning of the month, so that you do have a way to pad out in case you have days that are slumps like that in general. But since you know your week usually is like that, it's good that you can plan around that.
Yeah.
Which this also ties into how do you fit writing in with work, family, homeschool, etc., which was another question that we had asked on the forums. I found a few links for the person who asked this, which I will share later over there because it'll be easier that way. But basically some tips for them and a way to connect with some other people that homeschool their kids and will also be trying Nano. So, but basically the same thing is just trying to figure out with whether it's with work where you're having to deal with adults or whether it's you have kids at home and right now they're all at home and schooling from home. It does make it challenging, but if you can fit it in when they're having to work on a lesson and they don't need your help, then you can kind of squish it in. Sadly, I know a lot of people don't like to put on, videos, but if you have to get a half an hour of writing time and it doesn't distract you at all, sometimes you got to do what works for you. So we just did, okay. So now we're at a little break point. So remember, any words you write are more than what you had when the month started, and you win just by taking on the challenge because you're worth more than your word count. So I'm guessing since all I have left right now are my veterans, I'm guessing we don't have any questions. I don't know if we do. But like I said, the goal here is to give you a push and help you stifle your inner editor long enough to get some words on the page, because as writer Jodi Picoult has said, you can't edit a blank page. Do you guys have any questions? Let me peek. Oh, wait. Oh, oopsie. Hold on. Now, we're going to do a little bit on the site. So the NaNoWriMo main site, so that's when I say the main site, this is what I mean, is the NaNoWriMo.org. It's where you set up your profile and keep track of writing projects, to name a few things. Slide, but that's okay. Lots of information, writing tips, inspiration. There's an introduction thread. Feel free to introduce yourself, join some conversations in the forum. Because it is, again, another way to connect, because not everybody is on every social site, but we all have the Nano site in common, so more people are likely to see it if you post it there. Now we're going to do a quick look at our regional Discord. Now, when you first come into our Discord, if you've never been in at all, you'll get this little welcome page, which lets you into the 3 channels that you can first access. The first one is reading and agreeing to our rules. The next one is to say hi. It's an open chat channel so that anybody can get in if they have help. They can't get past something in the introduction, or they're having a technical issue and they can't see the rules or the emojis or something. We can help people out in there. And then any region update for the server. Other places you can connect with Sockmonkey writers. You can find links to all of our online spaces. Again, it's in that link that I showed on our region page, but I've posted it pretty much everywhere. It'll take you to our link tree, which has all of our links. And there's more than what's on that page. You have to scroll down. Let's see. So that's the easy part there. Now, ways you can get involved this year, since we don't get to have in-person ways to get involved, because we're all trying to be safe and healthy. Introduce yourself on our regional introduction thread and on our Discord introduction thread. And then just get involved in the various communities of ours that you join. Attend or host an online write-in. If you RSVP on the main site, then we know you're attending, hopefully. We know things come up, though. And if you decide you want to host, the platform and format is totally your choice. You could pick Zoom if you're comfortable with Zoom, or you could just host it on Discord and help run the bot for a little while. You could even host it in Chat Nano. I found that Chat Nano is finally back up. We do have the bot on our Discord called Winnie. She does a lot of similar wars like Timmy, the word war bot, does in Discord, though. So it's up to what you're comfortable with and familiar with. Another way you can get involved is to buddy up, which I mentioned a little bit earlier. You can make and accept buddy requests on the main site, or you can also sign up this year to be a region buddy with somebody. I have a thread. I put it out in the last regional email, and I'll put it out again and kind of reminding people. I've had a few people sign up. It would be fun to have some veteran writers to pair with some of our newer writers, so they have somebody. It's just for encouragement. You kind of just check in, whether you check in on Discord or you check in via email, and just once a week or so just say, hey, how's it going, or how's the writing, to give it a more in-person feel than our public on video events, because then you're actually kind of one-on-one chatting with someone briefly as you have time. Another way is to request goodies. This is optional, but the only way to get this year's official Nano sticker is to request it via the thread on the forums. I have a thread on the forums, which I've linked and I'll keep linking. It has a Google form. You fill out the form, and then you either message me on the forums or you send an email to our PC Sockmonkey Writers Gmail account, so that I can then send you my address to send an SASE to get your sticker and or your goodies. Just to make it sounds convoluted, but it's the easiest way to get it out to everybody. Support NaNoWriMo and NaNoPierceCo. To support NaNoWriMo, you can go. They have a store where you can buy things, and some of the money goes towards them, again, because they're a nonprofit. Or you can donate, or you can buy something and then round up and donate a little bit more. Like when I did camp this summer, I got this cool drink bottle thing, which is fun, and I'm very thirsty. Sorry, too much talking. Oh, that is what I didn't open. Anyways, so the other thing, so new this year is our region bonfire, which I'll be putting some more designs up. The design that we, oh, did I skip that? No, I did not. Oh, no, I'm not there yet. I got ahead of myself. So on the bonfire, you can order a shirt or mask or whatever that we happen to have up there. Right now, the design is a design that was drawn by one of our participants, and it's just for this year, kind of because we're all having the masks and we're all apart. So it's Polly here with a mask on, and it's cute. And then there's also, if you don't want to buy merch, that's okay. If you just have a couple bucks, we also have a regional Ko-Fi account, or coffee, if you want to call it that. I just don't like coffee, so and you can just chip a couple bucks in. It's towards prizes or printing or things this year. In the future, it's also for helping us maybe rent venues or having other fun prizes and raffles and things like that, which we can't do this year, but that's what it would be for eventually. And as far as Zoom goes, like the reason I have it there, I don't have a paid Zoom account, but if anyone else does and they're willing to either run a write-in on Zoom, or they're willing to sign in on their Zoom during a time when I can be there and then just share it to me, then I could run the write-in on Zoom and then it won't be interrupted, because the free one only lets you have 40 minutes and then you have to stop. So that's another way if people have that. Another way to get involved is to be social online. So share about Nano and the region with people that you know online in your different online spaces, wherever you're at. When you post things, you can tag NaNoPierceCo or PC Sockmonkey Writers, and then I get to see it, and I can maybe forward some of them on so others in the region get to see it. Another thing that I did this year, because we don't get to go anywhere, and we have our little mascots here. We have Polyester and Pearson here. but they like to come out and visit, but they don't get to this year. So I was hoping that people would be willing to let them visit as flat polyester in Pearson. And so if you request the envelope, I will send a printed one and you can cut it. I kind of made them like the old school paper dolls. I used some of the extra paper to create a stand. And then you can take pictures of them if you have other sock monkeys, because you've gotten some from me in the past, or just in your writing area or whatever. Be creative and have fun. I'd like to see where they go. We have a thread in the forums where you can post the pictures. It's also, if you don't want to get them in the mail, there's also links in there where you can download the PDF and print them out yourself. But it'd just be fun to see where all they go or don't go. And then another way to be social is just to chat in our forums and or our Discord or our Facebook or everywhere else, just to kind of connect and say hi. So there's a lot of ways to still be involved, even if we can't be involved in person. Because Nano is global, a lot of our events will be too. Some of these are still being finalized, so as I hear more, I will certainly post about them. I do know on our server we're going to get a 2-hour window of time where I'm hosting a write-in, and we will have people from other regions join us for our writing time, which should be fun. And they can always stick around and be part of our server if they'd like. I won't make them leave. Some people are, but you will also be invited if you'd like to participate, and you can then hop to a server in a different region of the world that happens to be participating. So that's kind of a fun thing, and there's some other stuff that they're working on behind the scenes to try to help connect us more, even though we're having to stay home. Okay, and so getting ready for Nano. Some people already are. I know some people start in September. Some people start in October. And then some people don't start till right before November, and that's okay. But we do, I just threw this up on the schedule, our Preptober workshop. It'll be another little short thing like this. And I won't have nearly as many slides, but we'll have some fun time to chat. We'll have some writing exercises and some links for downloadables and things that you can, and then we can chat with each other, share ideas. It's going to be next Saturday from 1 to 3, and it'll also be a Google Meet. And now that I've done it once, hopefully it'll be easier to get that up for you. You also can go to the Nano site. They have their Nano Prep curriculum. Actually, I can't do that from here. If you go to Writers Resources in the top bar on the main site, and then down the little list, it shows Nano Prep as one. And if you go in there, they have a whole like 6-week curriculum. You can always just use whatever works for you, or just use it to get ideas. What might I want to look at for my book? There's also the general forums. And then in the general forums, there's an artisans area, and I'll come to this in a second. And then online, of course, we have resources in our NaNoPierceCo Discord and in our NaNoPierceCo forums. And we're always welcome to having people add more, and you can always ask questions in either place. And then there will also eventually, I will be adding some different writing resource video playlists on our YouTube channel that people can access as well.
Hey, Linda. Real quick, the next Saturday is the 24th.
Oh, whoops. Well, I think I have it right on the, the slide. I typed it wrong on the slide. It's right on the side.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, Saturday the 24th. Sorry, ignore that. It's Saturday. Okay. It's right on the site. I just put it in, and yeah. I'll check that. I'll check that, though, before I go. Thank you. Okay, so this is what I mean by artisans. In the artisans area of the forums, you will see people share things like desktop backgrounds or printable word count calendars. Some of them they do with different fandoms. I've seen anime ones, sci-fi ones. This is an older one, and they have little writing prompts in it. And I will share the links to this in our resources on the forums. There's a couple of links for the calendars and for the ones that has these little nanoisms for things. So there's a lot of fun resources that way too. And you can also sometimes request them. Sometimes they have them where it's not just for like the 50,000 words. Some people who like to do more, they have a 75,000 or a 100,000. Those people are called overachievers, but that's okay. And then there's also a thing called reverse nano, which is the ones where you try to front load as much as you can. So they have a higher word count in the beginning of the month, so that by the time they hit like the end of the month on day 30, they only have to write like 2 words, and then they hit 50K or something. So there's reverse calendars and stuff like that too. Lots of interesting resources. Okay, and then, well, we've already done some questions. Does anybody have any other questions? Anything else they want to ask? Oh, actually, I have a thank you for joining us. And then I'm looking forward to writing with you in November. And if you think of a question, feel free to ask it on the forums or anything, you know, because others might want the answer. And then I have to have the credits in here because I borrowed this theme from someone else